To ancient Egyptians, death wasn't the end of the story. It wasn't a full stop. It was more like a doorway, a transition, something you prepared for the same way people today prepare for college, retirement, or their future. From the moment an Egyptian was born, the idea of the afterlife quietly followed them through every stage of life. And that's why, to us, it looks like they were obsessed with death, but to them, they were obsessed with living forever. Ancient Egyptians believed that this life was temporary, but the next one was permanent. Your time on Earth was just a test run. What really mattered was what happened after you took your last breath. They believed the soul was made up of different parts, the Ka, the Ba, and the Ak. Each part had a role, and if even one piece failed, the afterlife could fall apart completely. The Ka was your life force. It needed food, drink, and offerings even after death. That's why tombs were packed with food, wine, and everyday items. The Ba was your personality, the thing that made you you. It was believed to leave the tomb during the day and return at night. And then there was the Ak, the final, transformed spirit that could live among the gods, but only if everything went right. Here's the catch: none of this was automatic. The afterlife wasn't guaranteed. You had to earn it. Ancient Egyptians believed that after death, your heart would be weighed against the feather of Ma'at, the symbol of truth, balance, and justice. If your heart was heavier than the feather, meaning you lived a dishonest or immoral life, your soul would be destroyed. Not punished. Not sent to hell. Just erased. Gone forever. That fear right there? That's why preparation mattered so much. Every action in life counted. How you treated others. Whether you lied. Whether you respected the gods. Even how you spoke when no one was watching. Life was basically a long audition for eternity. And because the body mattered in the afterlife, preserving it became a top priority. Egyptians believed the soul needed a recognizable home to return to. That's why mummification wasn't just tradition, it was survival. If the body decayed, the soul could become lost, confused, or trapped. Mummification was expensive, detailed, and time-consuming. It involved removing organs, drying the body with natron salt, wrapping it in linen, and sealing it with prayers and magic spells. Only the heart stayed inside because it was needed for judgment. People saved money their entire lives just to afford a proper burial. Even regular workers planned their tombs early. The rich built massive tombs and pyramids, not to show off, but to protect their bodies from decay, thieves, and time itself. And then there were the spells. The Book of the Dead wasn't a book you read. It was a guidebook you used after dying. It contained spells to help the soul navigate the underworld, avoid demons, unlock gates, and speak the right words at the right moment. Forget a spell, and you might not make it. So Egyptians memorized them. They wrote them on tomb walls. They carved them into coffins. Some people even practiced their afterlife journey while still alive. Wild, right? To them, death was a process. A journey with rules, challenges, and checkpoints. And preparation was the only way to survive it. Even jobs and daily work were connected to death preparation. Artists painted tombs. Priests performed rituals. Builders created burial chambers designed to last forever. Entire industries existed just to prepare people for what came next. Pharaohs took this to another level. A pharaoh wasn't just a king, he was a god in human form. His afterlife needed to be perfect because his soul was believed to maintain balance in the universe. That's why pyramids were built with insane precision. Alignment with stars. Hidden chambers. False doors. Everything designed to protect the body and guide the soul. But even pharaohs weren't safe if they lived wrongly. Power didn't excuse morality. The gods didn't care about crowns in the judgment hall. What's fascinating is that this belief system actually shaped Egyptian society into something more balanced. Crime was discouraged. Order was valued. Truth mattered. Because every action echoed into eternity. Preparing for death didn't make them fearful, it made them intentional. They loved life. They celebrated. They enjoyed music, food, family, and beauty. But they also understood that life had weight, meaning, consequences. And maybe that's the part that hits hardest today. In a world obsessed with the moment, ancient Egyptians were obsessed with legacy, with how their soul would be remembered, with what version of themselves would step into the next world. To them, death wasn't darkness. It was graduation. And the preparation? That was the price of forever. If you enjoy deep history, ancient mysteries, and stories that make you rethink the world, subscribe to the channel. More powerful civilizations, hidden beliefs, and untold histories are coming next.